Japan is no stranger to disasters such as earthquakes, tsunamis, fires, and many others. We visited the Ikebukuro Safety Learning Center to learn a little more about these disasters and how we can be as prepared as possible if disaster were to strike. First, we were taught how to properly use a fire extinguisher and the correct procedure to follow in the event of a fire. Here's an example of how to use a fire extinguisher. First, you should yell fire to grab the attention of others and get help. Then, after collecting a fire extinguisher, you must pull the pin from the top of the extinguisher, hold the hose with one hand, and press down on the lever to release carbon dioxide from the extinguisher to eliminate oxygen in the environment. If the fire persists after the use, it's best to evacuate. After that, we were taught how to escape a burning building if we were unable to extinguish a fire. In this circumstance, we had to crouch low to the ground to avoid inhalation of smoke as much as possible. It's recommended that you cover your mouth and nose with a cloth of some sort to try and filter the air as much as possible. In order to prevent the fire from spreading, you must close the doors after you open them. It's also best to ensure that everyone remains calm and in a group, as you should not re-enter a burning building to retrieve anything or anyone. After going through the procedures on fire safety, we were then introduced to the earthquake portion of the center. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9 earthquake struck the east coast of Japan that resulted in mass amounts of destruction and subsequent tsunami. Earthquakes are extremely rare in the United States, particularly in the Midwest, so we used a simulator that mimicked the motion of the ground during the disaster to understand what it felt like. As you can see, the procedure during an earthquake in this situation is to get under the table on your knees, hold on to the table legs, and to place a cushion over your head until the shaking stops. Finally, there is a lot of evidence of the destructive nature of earthquakes. Here is a real-life example of damage done by an earthquake. We visited Kumamoto Castle, which was built in 1601. Unfortunately, an earthquake struck in 2016 near the castle that resulted in great amounts of damage. Here's an image of the castle before the earthquake. As you can see, 3 years after the disaster, there is still remaining damage. Piles of rubble still remain, and there are pillars supported solely by a few boulders. Cranes are present repairing the castle itself, as the grounds demonstrate the damage done by the earthquake. However, this rapid turnaround time since the event demonstrates the efforts put in by the community to preserve the history and build a better tomorrow.